Let's queer up education. Queer Arizona State professor assaulted by right-wing hecklers.
Hey there, David. How you doing?
Oh, hey. How you doing?
Good, good, good. Hey, I just was wondering if I could ask you a couple questions.
Nope.
Why not?
Put that away.
Why? So let me ask you, when did you decide to get obsessed with sex education? Are you going to answer any of my questions?
Nope.
Okay, so if I ask you how long you've been attracted to minors, or how long you've fantasized about minors having sex with adults and why you write about it in children's books, what are you going to tell me? Nothing? What are you going to do? David, you can't run. It's best if you just talk to me about why you want to push sodomy onto young people. That's the best thing to do, is just have a conversation. Right? You said that, right? Like, I'm obsessed with sex education. You said that? Yes or no? No? Huh? Why do you feel like children need to be exposed to drag? Why is that something that children should be exposed to? And why do you feel that drag queens benefit from children being present at drag shows where they shake their genitals and their fake breasts? Also, I was taking a look at your Substack, and it seems like you really, really hate Americans. Like, you just are disgusted with Americans in this country. And it's funny because you would like to see a different America exist where little boys are sodomized by people like you, right? Hey!
In a recent disturbing incident on the Arizona State University campus, a queer instructor, David Boyles, was approached and harassed by two associates from the right-wing organization Turning Point USA. The confrontation, partly captured on video, escalated into physical violence, leaving Boyles with facial injuries. Boyles teaches English at the school and is a co-founder of Drag Story Hour Arizona. Drag Story Hour is a national nonprofit with chapters across the country. The groups organize drag events where performers read to kids at libraries, bookstores, and other places. The video commences with one of the Turning Point USA associates approaching Boyles, seeking to engage him in conversation. As the encounter unfolds, the Turning Point USA activist continues with accusations and derogatory remarks, questioning Boyles' stance on exposing children to drag culture and accusing him of harboring hatred towards Americans. Turning Point USA has previously targeted Boyles on its Professor Watchlist for his advocacy of inclusive programs like Drag Queen Story Hour. The university administration and ASU campus police are investigating the incident as a potential aggravated assault case with a bias towards LGBTQ+ individuals. ASU has also released a letter reiterating its commitment to ensuring a safe and respectful environment for its community, condemning harassment or threatening behavior. So I actually got my master's from ASU, and I'm very proud of that. My program was in human rights and social justice. So I think it's pretty safe to say where Arizona State University stands as far as this topic. But yeah, that video was really hard to watch. Just feeling how afraid he must have been, and he doesn't know what they're going to do to him. And
TPUSA is notorious for this kind of stunt. It's like the equivalent of walking up to someone and say, "When did you stop hitting your wife?" You know, to imply that somehow, or when did you stop being a communist, or when did you stop being a pedophile? They want you to have a reaction so that they can chop
you look guilty.
They can chop it like, Project Veritas style, chop it into selective edits so that they can frame you as something, upload on social media, unleash lips of TikToks on you, unleash their followers on you, so you can get harassed, doxxed, death threats to follow, or their objective is to shut you up. Worse, or actually the objective is chase you away from you. TPUSA, actually, I refuse to use that. I call it Toilet Paper USA. Basically has a list of professors to target. They have a literal list of professors they want to target, saying that these people are evil or too liberal and want to get them out of campus. It's like an unofficial, it's like an organization that actually, I'm pretty sure they probably collude with Ron DeSantis to get rid of certain professors who don't.
Well, they sound like a hate group, I think. But
it's literally a hate group.
Pretty clear.
Yeah.
Well, and their tactics, sadly, are nothing new.
No.
Spout hate, make questions unanswerable, ambush people. And there are certain times when an ambush interview is needed. If there's a politician, if there is a leader of an organization that you have reached out to and tried to get in contact with, there is a certain use for this type of journalism. This is not the case. This is about making lists of educators, lists of politicians, lists of people who have ever said anything that you don't like. Remember the well, of course none of us here remember it, but we learned about it in history. The intellectual purges in Germany, which were bad. Stalin said, "Hold my drink," and did intellectual purges through the 1930s and through the 1940s until he finally died in the early 1950s. We saw it in Republican politics today. They are handing out lists of from the speaker's office or the vacant speaker's office, Jim Jordan's office. His people are calling and saying, if you're a bad person, if your husband, they're calling politicians wives, if your husband doesn't vote for Jim Jordan, your husband will never be elected again. And there are more threatening, ominous tones and ways that you can read it. That's what this is. It's intellectual purge. If you say something they disagree with, which you probably will because you're watching and thinking, I know smart things, and they're going, no, we smart. No, they're ignorant nimrods. And I'm getting a lot of use out of that word today.